So huge, gigantic news. Everyone's talking about it. Rhett is going to Korea. That is right. October 16th, Rhett will be in Korea. He's going to join the Istro team, and it's going to be good because Rhett right now definitely already the level of a B-teamer. Very similar to like when Noni came over, when already he was at this huge, huge level. And probably just like Noni, Rhett's going to have to rework a few things right off. And, you know, after reworking those, his skill should jump back because, you know, basically whenever a foreigner goes to Korea, their skill drops a little bit because they have to do some things that they were doing wrongly, fix them. You know, it makes them a little bit more comfortable in the games, drops their skill level just for a little bit. But Rhett, he should do really great. The first Zerg Korean, Zerg non-pro gamer, Zerg foreigner, whatever you want to call it, to go to Korea and try to become a pro gamer. It's always been Protoss players with a few Terrans mixed in there. So it's going to be really interesting to see if he's able to pull that off. I tell you what, he is going to be able to pull off. I know this guy very well. I've watched his games a lot, played him a lot. He is just another level altogether. Totally ready for this. Same level as Hydra, despite living in Europe this whole time and not having this great practice place. So keep your eyes open for that. We'll have tons of coverage of Rhett. And definitely going to do another huge courage video, just like we did for Noni. Should be really good. Hopefully Rhett can get pretty far, but, you know, Noni just did outstanding there. It's hard to expect a Zerg player to do that, especially when he just switched over to ZBZ. So, looking really forward to having Rhett come over here. And on that subject of Korea, let's jump over into the Korean news. Well, the Pro League's starting back up this weekend, finally. You know, we've waited so long. That felt like the longest off-season ever. And at the same time, we've already had the MST start. OSL round of 36 is going to start up this week as well. So we have a ton of StarCraft back on, as well as all these foreigner terms that we just spoke about. So really, there's going to be no end to your StarCraft viewing pleasure. A lot of good matches are going to be coming up. This weekend, we're going to have I know that KT is going to take on Istro, and we should see an IF Classic match coming up. You know, a very exciting new player for Istro, someone who people are thinking, you know what, this guy has Royal Rotor potential, almost made it through the OSL brackets. So keep an eye out on his match. Other than those leagues starting up, we had a really big player switch, and that was Quanro switching over to Woongjin from CJ. Now, Quanro, you know, he was supposed to be the new Zerg on the block a couple years ago. It kind of fizzled out a little bit when his cheesy style was a little bit figured out, but then he came back with a lot of strength and made it to the finals of this MSL against Calm. So definitely a very good player, really performed on CJ's Pro League team last season. And, you know, he moved over to Woongjin, who, you know, they just lost GG play, so they didn't have a strong Zerg. That's really going to help Woongjin out. And it's interesting to see that happen. You know, CJ really had such a strong lineup, and they kind of still do, but losing Quanro has hurt a little bit. He was a pretty strong player in their lineup. And a funny little thing, CJ and Woongjin actually live in the same building in Seoul. So basically all Quanro had to do was, you know, carry his clothes in his arms and take the elevator a couple floors down. So kind of funny to transfer a player like that. Not very epic or anything. Still going to be able to see all his friends all the time. Well, the new Pro League maps are out, and they have the new ones from the Pro League map test that I'm sure you all watched a little bit. Tornado, Moonglaive, Matchpoint, and Silverwing. And also they're keeping a couple maps. They're switching around Outsider a little bit, trying to dumb down Zerg a little bit there. So we're going to have Outsider SE. And then they did one of the silliest things that's ever happened. Kept Heartbreak Ridge, one of the worst maps of all time. So, you know, that's too bad. I guess that map is still going to be in rotation for a little bit. I'll make a little guide on how to play that map correctly as Terran. But definitely one of the worst maps ever created. Well, that's about it for Korean news, but I gotta tease you a little bit with something that's coming up. SC for All is officially helping out on the IEF tournament. A lot of you saw a list of players for that IEF tournament a long time ago. A really disgusting, poorly made list. That list is nothing. Don't even pay attention to it. Basically, this is going to be the best LAN tournament ever for foreigners. So we're going to announce that pretty quickly here coming up. And seriously, I can't stress that enough. The best LAN tournament ever for StarCraft 1. It will be. So keep your eyes out for that. The Koreans that will play in it are Stork, Bisu, Savior, and an amateur who's on a pro team as a practice partner. The Chinese are PJ, LBH, J-Star, and Never, who's aka Rushgoon. And so that is already 8 great players, and we will announce about 400 players probably next week sometime. So keep your eyes open for that. We're going to get all sorts of coverage of that. It's going to be an amazing event. So that's just about it for the weekly news this week. Sorry about missing last week. We'll definitely get it going every single week from here on out. And any questions, comments, criticism, please let us know. And thanks for watching.